Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Live well. I haven't been, as consistent as I wanted to be, guys. Just life and priorities and so on and so forth. But yeah, so we're back today. What I'm going to be doing today is doing my tomatoes, guys. So where the garlic has been growing, normally I take the garlics out and then I put the tomato. So today I'm going to be taking that process. Just want to show you my tomatoes. The tomatoes I'm going to be growing today, guys. I've got like say 3 different kind of tomatoes there, but I didn't label them. So I'm gonna be putting them side by side, and when they grow, yes, that's what I'm gonna be knowing which ones are which. But I kinda know like the plum one has a different kind of leaf to the rest. But as I'm growing it, putting it down, I'll be showing you guys. So over here is where I'm looking to put them. So as you can see, my garlic them, yeah, they could be they could be doing better. But I do believe say under the ground we may have a root. So what I'm going to be having to end up doing, guys, is basically using my shovel and pushing down underneath and see if I can pull it up this way, because I believe if I try pull it from the neck, as you can see, these necks are, yeah, I don't want to pull it and then it breaks and then I lose the garlic. And the next year it's just a little bit harder for me to, regrow the garlic if I'm going to decide to do it back in the same bed. Or I'll just be having garlic growing everywhere, guys. As you can see, some of them already be growing, the scapes have just been coming along, just breaking them off, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I'm gonna be just getting along with that, guys. I might see if I can try to do one of them with my hands, with the one hand at the moment today. Right, so what I'm gonna basically do is just try to come underneath like this with the shovel. Fortunately, I'm gonna have to dig a bit because I don't wanna break the garlic off the stem, and should end up with something like this, guys. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, this year I do believe, yeah, these guys are better than what I had last year. They kind of still have their their skin on them, and it's a fairly good size. I mean, there's my hand. So maybe the garlic this year may not be quite of a waste after all. It's been coming up as I've been watering the rest of the beds. As you can see, the soil is kind of darker on this one. I've left it dry because knowing that I'm going to be coming back, and to pull out the garlic, it's best to do it when the soil is kind of dry, guys. You know what I'm saying to you? So let's go down the bed a little. So you know me, guys, I like volunteers. And this is like, as this is going to be the tomato bed, this is where I grew the tomato last year. So, it look like we got a little bit of volunteers coming up. So I will not be pulling them up exactly. Maybe, I'll see how they grow. Maybe that one on the side there, let's see how that one in the middle gets. But yeah, so these are basically volunteers, guys, for last year tomatoes. And I've showed you earlier on what I'm going to be putting in the ground. So, I see this as a little welcome. And the funny thing is, some of them are actually literally in the middle of the bed already, kind of like the right distance. I didn't plant them like that. That's just how they just kind of sprouted up. So yeah, so I'm going to be getting on with pulling out the garlics, guys. And when I've done that, I'm going to show you the next step on that, right? Yeah, guys, you know what? I'm kind of chuffed with this. I'm kind of happy. And I'm telling you what, yeah, I was not expecting the garlics them to come out this big. The way they were looking at the beginning of the season, yeah, well, at the moment, I'm happy and I'm hopeful for the rest. Right, I didn't grow them as close as I did last year. I decided to only do 3 in a row. And that seems to maybe work. So maybe if I'm going to do it again this year, I'll try that again one more time. Or maybe I'll do some in 3s and some in 4s and, do an experiment, guys. Right, so progress so far, guys. Just want to say a quick note, like gardening is really, you gotta have a lot of patience, guys, when you are gardening. If you is somebody who don't have patience, you like to have things straight away, then gardening may not be for you. So like these guys, like I said to you, they've been in here for a good 9 months. Now, yeah, some are small, but some of them are reasonable size, guys. Reasonable that enough I can say, yeah, well, this year's garlic, I could say so far could be passed as a success. So we'll just be, putting them to dry, and then see how they get on, guys. So far, guys, that's what we got up to so far. So we've pulled out all the garlics. There we go. Not a bad little harvest, guys. I didn't grow much this year because, like I said, the year before, I struggled. You know, they were doing some crazy stuff with the leaves like this, you know, like this little freezely stuff. And none of the garlics formed. All of the shift around it, the cloth around it, all of that was gone. I was just seeing the bare garlic sticking up. It was just crazy, man. But yeah, man, this year, if you check it out, yeah, man, we got some garlic. We definitely have some garlic. So, and these as well, yeah, like I said, was store-bought. So I don't know, man. You know, if I think if they're grown, if I gave them a little bit more better attention, because like for half of the year, they're just literally sitting out to the elements, you know what I mean, over the winter and all that. But yeah, store-bought garlics, guys, don't knock them. So I will be, you know, carrying on what I'm doing, guys. I just have to improve, you know, the way I'm doing it. Maybe give them some more water or more watering frequently, because this ground does dry out real much. You get me? It dries out a lot, you know. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna just fix up the bed. Some of these volunteer tomatoes, like I said, I don't really want to move them, but if I feel they need to go in the middle, maybe I can always retransplant them. All right, guys, so let's just carry on and I'll just show you what I'm doing so far. What I've done so far, should I say. Yes, guys, so I'm now just gonna just space them out on the bed. So for example, I'll just be putting one like here. Grab the next one. And then this just kind of roughly gives me my distances, like how far apart are they going to be, you know? Then after I do that, I'm going to be digging a hole about the same depth as the pot. I'm going to be slipping them in. I'm doing all of this with one hand today, guys, so I'm going to just show you what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to carry on with laying them down. And then as I get to the whole part and putting them in, I'll show you that as well. Right, guys, so as always, just try to wet the area where I'm going to be putting the plants. I've just done that all the way along, you know, the holes then. Now I'm just going to maybe just a little bit deeper, just like that, just open it up. Because I am going to be, sorry, just open it up. Because I am going to be watering again afterwards, just to make sure everything is settled. I'm just showing you how I'm doing the first one, and it's literally the same thing I'll be doing for all the rest, you know. So trying to do this with one hand is not easy. Okay, right. There's our tomato, there's our root ball, as always. We've got full roots on here, so it shouldn't be difficult for these to, you know, root in. Now, some people will make the holes deeper, bring them all the way up to the top here. Some people will actually lay them across, you know, they say that it encourages root growth, you know. But to me, it's like once the root is in the ground like this, you know, it'll be sufficient. Alright, so I'm just gonna carry on doing that with the rest, guys, and it's just basically, you know, just transplanting them. I'm not gonna be putting any food or anything like that initially. I may be giving them like a fish emulsion, you know, feed, you know, something like this, you know, fish emulsion. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, fish mix. And it's just basically an organic fish, you know, fish food. Helps for nitrogen, you know, full of nitrogen, and it should hopefully help them, you know, have a healthy start. But I may not do that today. I may not even do it, you know, in a week's time. I just want to see how they settle, and if I see they need it, then yes, definitely, I'm going to be doing that, guys. All right, so yeah, let's carry on. I'll show you the progress. All right, guys, so we finished now. Well, as in we finished transplanting. Still got about 3 plants left. But yeah, so this is our tomato bed for the year, guys. I'll be coming in, like I said, you know, giving them some water. You know, these will be getting water more than once a week, unfortunately, because it's really hot. And as they've been transplanted, tomato is something that needs, you know, they need their water, guys. You know what I'm saying to you. But yeah, we should have like 3 different tomatoes growing here. We should have a plum, and we should have like 2 different kind of beefy ones. I think one of them is called Gigantica or something like that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that one grow. So today is literally, should give you the date, is like the 1st of June. So this is when my tomatoes are going in on the 1st of June. If you're growing along with us, let us know, guys. To me, the variety that is grown, don't really matter too much as long as you're getting tomato, or if you're trying to grow a variety for particular things like for sauce or, to put in sandwiches, then okay, maybe you can say, I need this one for that and you vote for another. But in general, right, so what I was trying to say is basically, the variety of tomato you grow may depend on what you're doing with it. So if you're making sauce, you might want plum tomatoes. If you're making like putting them in sandwiches, you might want your beefy style tomatoes. But in general, tomato is tomato to me, especially that more times I cook with them, so it doesn't really matter if it's a beefy style tomato or if it's a plum tomato, I'll cook with it regardless. And, I tend to get the same result in the end. So that's what I was trying to say, guys. So yeah, so that was our garlic harvesting video there, guys, as well as our, transplanting of our tomatoes. This is the result we have had so far on our garlic. But like I said, I'm quite chuffed with it, guys. So why not grow some garlic, guys? Go to the store, buy yourself, a clove of garlic and do what you can do with it. It might take you a little while if you're patient, but you will get garlic in the end. Right, guys, so on that note, guys, like I always say, I hope we live well and together we grow, guys.